Welcome to Crescent City with your hosts, Natalie Jean and Jackie Zabrowski.
You're the only one that's going to see this part of it, James. So, you
never know.
I hope you're listening to all of it. Jeez.
This might make it into the show.
Is it? James, would you do that to us?
What do you want done? You want to be tinted blue?
Yeah, I need my face to be tinted blue because I wasn't thinking about the ombre of the Sobek skin that I had on, and now the ombre is not represented upon my face.
I forgot I have gloves. Should I put them on?
No, because you're just gonna have to take them off.
Ugh, but it ruins the effect.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone, get your screams out now. They have human hands.
Breaks the illusion.
But this Sobek is married, and it's married to God.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm also married. So sorry.
Sorry, other Sobeks out there.
Sorry.
You have to go back to hell.
If your thing is a lizard creature with human hands, not happening. Okay.
All right. We're not here for you. Okay. Because, it was just, I believe, last week when I was talking about there's so many characters in every episode. It's going to be crazy. There's no way we're ever going to show up as the same stupid character. And did we both show up as Sobeks with the worst wigs that we have? Yes.
Jackie, not only that, they're both short curly bobs. And I swear to God, I almost took the blonde one that I have at the house.
Whoa.
And I don't know what that means if we had both shown up as Sobeks with blonde curly bob wigs on. I think that means we spend too much time together.
I think that's what it means. And it's just so funny because what do you put on the head of a lizard, crocodile, fake creature? What do you put on its head? And I was trying to find some sort of, I don't know, balaclava, something to put on. I needed something. I wanted my head to be smaller and more scaled.
Yeah, it should be a scaled bald cap, probably.
Yes, and I actually genuinely looked for a scaled bald cap.
All right, I have to take this off.
And then I was like, do I just draw on the scales onto the bald cap? But then I was just going to look really stupid because I think you guys remember what I look like with the bald cap on because I refused to put it all on.
You drew hair on top of it.
And I would have drawn scales on top of it, and that would have looked really good. But unfortunately, no, we're just both here. We've cobbled together Sobek costumes for some reason
perms.
Because there are so many characters in these chapters, and we both chose Sobek. I think it's funny.
With a perm.
Yeah, with perms.
I went with the bear paw slippers that I have for my feet. They have fur, so it's not really canon, but I figure it was claws.
Yes, I think that you look great, and I just put on black socks so I don't give the feet away for free.
Oh yeah,
and don't forget it.
You could paint your feet green.
Oh my God! And then I'll just always be buying a green screen and go, where are my feet? How do I walk over to you? Where are my feet?
Yes.
Oh, I've just got nubs. And isn't that beautiful? Honestly,
cute.
Sobek would be beautiful no matter what kind of digits they have. I say phalanges or no. Get over here and give me a kiss.
All right.
Would you be kissing Sobeks?
No. Should I be?
I just feel like with a snout, does that immediately put you off?
I just worry what they will do to me because generally if you have a snout, you typically are an attacker. You attack.
Wow, snoutist much.
I mean,
okay.
I'm just keeping it real.
You're saying all snouts attack?
Not all snouts, but
thank you.
Many snouts.
Thank you. You're gonna look at Carmi's little snout.
She does attack me.
She does it. She attacks you with little kisses, and then she puts her little head into your belly, and then she just wants to give you little kisses.
That's true. I do kiss her, not on the mouth though. But she tries to get into mine all the time.
Well, she just wants to make sure you're clean and right.
Yeah. And apparently cleaning right is licking your butthole and then trying to put it in other people's mouths.
Hey, don't knock it till you tried it. I do also like that, apparently to us, Sobeks fold up. We fold up and we're ready to strike.
Yeah, it's a preparing to strike mode.
Yeah,
So you better watch out.
I wish I
we
could.
need 3D glasses for our
Yeah, we do. We should start. Whoa. Whoa, you don't want this straw. This straw.
It's coming right at you. Holy
have
shit.
Some coffee. I'm not. Whoa.
Oh, you're baby birding them coffee.
Yeah,
That's so
isn't that
nice.
cute? You know that I always have coffee somewhere close to me. If not, I'm not alive.
It's scary.
Yeah, I only get scared for caffeine. That's the Sobek way.
Oh boy, that's nice of them to pour coffee down that grate in the middle of the interrogation room for them.
Yeah, to make sure that everybody's taken care of. That is the Sobek way.
It's not the Sobek way. It's the FAE way in this world, allegedly.
Whoa, my way or the FAE way.
FAE way. Hey. Hunt is having a bit.
So wait, you're gonna go transition right from that into the torture room?
Yes.
Hey, hey, what? Hey, woo. Okay, and now Hunt, he's getting a stamina. Oh no, it's no good for our boy. Hunt.
No, I mean, what is the right way to transition into this? We got to segue and just let it happen.
You're right.
Because, baby, this is still torture time.
Oh God, there's so much torture.
I really did skip over most of the more gruesome parts of this.
I appreciate that. We all appreciate that because a lot of us have read it, and hopefully, or if you're reading along, you're reading it and you're getting it in real time.
But if you don't want to read about torture, if you're not a fan of the macabre, maybe skip some of these chapters.
You know, these masks made for children really don't give. They're really tight on the fit. And like I have a small head. I have a child-size head. Everybody's always saying it. And they go, that bitch needs a smaller hat.
I don't
And
think
it's just-
anyone's ever said that but your brother, but it's never left your mind.
No,
ever.
I think about it all the time.
Actually, technically,
Ah!
that looks more accurate, technically.
Does it? Because then I was like, all right, at first I was going to leave this and I was like, oh, great. I'll just put makeup all over. Again, this is where I think, like, Jackie, what are you talking about? Don't put makeup all over the like wig cap you just purchased just because you don't want to put the Michael Myers mom wig on.
You know, it's gonna be this. It's gonna work the same if it's got green makeup on it.
My way, you're the FAE way.
Hi.
God, it's stuck in my head now. Fuck.
All right, I guess she's going for wig, everyone.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I feel like now Natalie, our Sobek sisters, and I feel like we're like out there and nobody fucks with the Sobek sisters.
Oh yeah, we are
And it's
problems
because we were given perms and we did not consent to them.
We're
okay?
like, oh no, we were forcibly permed.
We were forcibly permed.
I was as a child, actually. To be
Oh
honest.
no, you were.
Oh yeah, repeatedly.
Is this why you love that your hair is so straight now? Although I guess you don't. You really struggle.
No,
You
I
don't.
wish I had body to my hair, but my grandmother just wanted me to be Shirley Temple so badly, and I was not. But she tried and she tried. And so I got a lot of perms as a little girl.
Did she give her Did she give you the uppers and the downers too?
Unfortunately, no. But she did give me home manicures, which was really... My grandma was awesome, but she was obsessed with dolls. And she wanted me to be a little doll, which was fine for me at the time. She was, listen, now I sound like I'm hating on. My grandma Mary Jean was wonderful. She was wonderful to me. But she also made me get perms.
And sometimes I would dress like a doll. Sometimes I would twirl for her.
I still do.
Licking the lollipop, grandma. I don't know.
yeah.
I've never really had a grandma, so I don't know what you do with them.
That's about it.
Yeah, right? And you just sit in your frilly dresses, I imagine, go, my ankles are itchy, grandmama, for you see you have the ruffles upon them.
And there's always a scary music box playing. Cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang, cling.
But I will say, if you think that your grandmother has like an Evil Dead kind of curse within her, cut off her head.
Okay. Well, really, make sure though. Like, really check to make sure.
Definitely get a second opinion before you do it.
Please.
But
do not take our advice.
Somebody's got to look into it.
Somebody should look into it, I guess. Now that we've gotten so now that's a good transition into chapter 4.
We're talking about cutting off grandmama's head. Now we can jump into a torture room.
Hunt is having a bit of a Monday at the start of chapter 4. So it's real bad right now. As we already observed from Lydia's POV, Hunt is chained, beaten, brutalized, reslaved, and longing for his mate.
That's a lot for a Monday.
It really is. But the thought of Bryce does give him some reprieve from his suffering. It's like the only thing kind of keeping him going. Though he agonizes over where she is right now, he can at least hold on to the hope of her to keep him going.
His mate, his wife, his princess. Prince Hunt Athalar Danon. He would have hated the last name were it not for the fact that it was the marker of her ownership over his soul, his heart.
Ooh.
Oh, he likes her now.
They married.
But I guess it's like, wow, if you're really struggling with like, oh, don't I want to spend the rest of my life with someone? I guess you should be separated from them and tortured. And then you should think about how much you love them for you to remember what you have.
Oh, wow. You have a lot of hot takes this morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's
you really are. It's the Sobek. We're like those. What are those two sisters that had the reality show? I think they were twins or something.
The ones that were kissing on other twins?
No, you loved them for a while.
Oh, the Silva sisters. Darcy?
Yes,
you talking about Darcy?
I feel as though we are the Sobek
The Silva
version.
sisters. Oh my God, we're the Silva Sobek
going
sisters.
Around causing a lot of problems.
I think that we need a lot more work done, honey, if we want to be the Silva sisters, okay?
Oh, you know I have an appointment.
Have you seen them recently? Wow. I know. It's like, Jackie, you don't shame, you don't. But it really is. It looked like someone put in a bicycle pump into their faces. And cartoonish like, da, 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 and what, and they're like, it is so, and they know it's extreme and they like that it's extreme.
I'm always on the side, and it's an unpopular opinion with some people, but I think you should be allowed to do whatever you want with your face and body. And if that's what you want to do, go bless.
It does make me think of, we do still say, yes, my angel, because one of them was dating some young European guy, and she just led him around by the nose, and everything she said, he'd go, yes, my angel. Yes, my angel.
He liked it.
And so now Jeff and I, whenever to go, yes, my angel. Yes, my angel. Yes, my angel. Because you know he cries.
Okay, it's not page 7. We have to move on.
Cries with his lonely heart thinking.
Nope.
She just got a little bit more
Yeah.
self-surgery.
Now that he knows that they cannot force information out of him. So he will die before he reveals any information that might lead them to Bryce. He also acknowledges that Baxian, who is chained nearby him, has also refused to reveal any pertinent info, despite the amount of torture Pollux has dished out already. So Baxian is keeping mums, as well as Rune.
Multiple mums the word.
Mum's the word.
Mumsy's the word, I guess.
This only reaffirms his faith that Baxian really was Danica's mate. This scene gets really gnarly, and it would be a hell of an effort to put this on film. That was what I was thinking the whole time, because it is like Hostel level.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I think that's why it should be animated like Akatar.
Yeah. I think it all should be animated.
Yeah. I hope I genuinely hope that will happen. Somebody needs to animate this. It would make so much money. I mean, I'm just throwing free ideas out here.
Cartoonists, hit us up.
I'm sure it's easy to animate an entire feature film. Well, probably more like 7 feature films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really epic feature films. I'm sure that's
sure it's fine. Just
easy to
do.
It. No, we know it's very hard and that would be very, very daunting. I can't imagine trying to undertake something like that.
But please, James.
But James,
could you do it, James?
It is nice because, James is one of the good ones. So, that he watches this and goes, ladies, look at those ladies being Sobeks.
You think that's what he's doing?
Yeah, okay. I can hear him with his cigars. This is not James at all.
Give him cigars.
Yes. Yeah, they want me to color correct the face. I'll turn it blue. Yeah, dabby-dee, dabba-doo-dee, dabby-dee. And I'm like, don't sing the song, James, please.
That is just, it's like James was in the room.
Yeah.
Wow. Just like it.
I love him. All right.
So a bunch of details of this room and torture are laid out, which we probably don't need to go too deep into. I know not all of you are horror people.
Want to.
But Pollux is really methodically attempting to draw information out of them. He notes the Hind, that is, Hunt notes the Hind, is always watching from behind Pollux, eyes deadened. None of them have revealed who or what she truly is either. So they hold this huge secret information about the Hind because if you recall at the end of the last book, she helped them fake that Bryce killed the Harpy and then released them. But none of them have given this information away.
I do like that we both did the dark lip for our Sobeks.
Well, I mean, I can't do paint. Oh, you do red?
I know you can't do red, but I also was like, do you leave it bare and just put so I put, obviously, I think that everyone can see the craftsmanship that went into my makeup work today, but
it's beautiful.
Thank you. I was diligent with it. And
get the points across.
I just feel like as like being your Silva Sobek sister, I feel like you're sexier than I am.
That's interesting.
And I'm worried about this. I'm worried about our future as Silva Sobek sisters and if we're going to survive this, like mom talk.
I don't know how you're perceiving me as sexier.
Fight to the death.
Okay.
Is what I'm proposing.
That's fine. Let's go.
Right. All right. Well, let's fucking go. I don't even know how it's
Sobek talk.
Whoa, am I an SOB now? Is that what you're calling me?
Soap talk, yeah.
Interesting, Natalie. Okay, I see.
So
it's a war with words.
It is. I'm a bit of a wordsmith, if you haven't caught upon that. If I haven't sliced upon your intellect.
You better not.
Jab with words.
And now I'm scared of her, right? She was scared of me before. Now I'm scared of her.
There you see, that's balance. So they have not revealed Lydia's secret. It's hardly because they care about Lydia per se, but, you know, they could technically throw her under the bus. Hunt wants to die in some ways, but he holds on to the thought that if he can stay, and exist and survive through this, he may have a chance to see Bryce again, even if he doesn't really think he's going to live much longer. Maybe he'll be able to even see her reappearing with an army behind her, but he doesn't think he'll be there for the battle.
Oh, God.
He feels guilt and shame for not pushing harder against her mad desire to infiltrate the palace. But he couldn't have stopped her. He feels foolish for believing Celestina would be better than the other archangels. So he's still lamenting. Like, he would have never been able to stop Bryce from doing this, but he's still
because she would have just gone behind his back and done it anyway.
Yeah. And also he feels played by Celestina, and that's, they all kind of went, oh, we should have never trusted an archangel. That was stupid. And Celestina has kind of betrayed all of them. So he kind of feels the contempt over her weaponizing her, quote, friendship with Shahar to what he perceives as being just a trap for them. He hears Baxian groan, and the three of them are in unimaginable pain, but they try to keep their wits about them. Baxian telling Hunt he's doing great when Hunt inquires. A sound that was something like a laugh comes from Rune. So he then starts to crack a joke, which sends all three of them into sort of hysterical, maniacal laughter, despite the immense pain it causes Hunt, which is the worst thing you could do for somebody who's trying to torment you. It makes them afraid, right? Because they're trying to break you so hard. So if you can still find it in yourself to make a joke or something, it's like the antithesis of what they want.
Now, I do feel like part of the world of torture, or at least what I've read about, is that they like to separate them. But I like that SJM keeps the three of them in the same room, because I do feel that while you think, I feel like it would be simultaneously easier, like if I were getting tortured in front of you, knowing that you were there and even just being there. I feel like having any kind of connection or human, or maybe not human, but presence with like in the room, that it would be easier. But then also it is the unending torture for the other people to watch each other be tortured over and over again. I like this, because at first I was like, they'd never leave them in the same room. But then if you think about it, it's actually really fucked up.
Oh yeah, it's another form of torment in a way.
Yes.
And they're so, I mean, they can't really conspire the way that they're like in there.
Right.
So the laughter, however, is something that does give them a little bit of power. And Pollux does come running furious at their camaraderie. Following him is the member of Sandriel's triary that we haven't met yet, the Hawk. He's another archangel, of course. Hunt thinks about how, not archangel, he's another angel, I should say. Excuse me. He's an angel. Hunt thinks about how, like Baxian, he's a rare combination, actually, of angel and shifter. So he actually turns into a hawk. Be funny if he turned into like a bunny or something. They call him the Hawk.
They call him Hawk just to keep his street cred up.
Just to keep his like self-esteem. The two angels are annoyed that the three captives aren't more submissive to their ministrations and begin taunting them, suggesting that the torture is going to commence that day with their tongues, which doesn't sound good. This only results in Baxian, then Rune, then Hunt sticking their tongues out at them.
Hunt opened his mouth, his last bit of bravado before the shit show began. But in the shadows behind Pollux, beyond the fireplace, something dark moved. Something darker than shadow.
Uh-oh, is he going a little loco?
I imagine, but here's the thing. Hunt has endured right? It was like hundreds. It was a century of torture. So I don't think he'd be losing his shit that fast.
I didn't go into detail. I don't know if you remember. It's pretty bad what they're doing.
I know. I remember.
So
no, I didn't read it. I did quickly flip past it though, as I was like, I remember. Yeah.
So he's unsure at the moment whether he's hallucinating or this is something tangible in the dark beyond the shadows. Because, I mean, it could be in this world. Who knows what that could be?
You never know.
He half hopes that this is the sign that he is edging towards death. The other half is longing to see Bryce one more time, however. Back and forth, his mind teeters as he watches the shadows shift. He decides he doesn't really care that much. We move over to Rune's POV in these same moments. Lydia, aka the Hind, who is in, nearby, is calling out to him once again, trying, despite Rune's refusal to engage since they were, quote, caught by her in the dungeons. And so as soon as he put together who the Hind and Lydia are and Daylight, like they're all one and the same, he has felt mortified, humiliated, and just disgusted by her. So she just tries again and again to say, night. Rune has dissociated from his body as the day's torment is carried out. So this is where he is out in the mind space. He's kind of seeing it as this dark, pitch black sea that he's floating on. And this is where she's calling to him. I won't go into detail, but he left during what would have killed a human. Not a fun thing. So his mind has left his body, essentially. Now he's floating in brain space. He muses in his mind, not to her, but to himself, how his father's tortures had seemed untouchable in their cruelty, but that has become not correct anymore. He has been reinformed. At least they gave him ample practice, the ministrations his father gave him, to push away from the pain, get it as far away from him. So he kind of had a rehearsal for these days. by his father's torment.
Natalie, you're hurting us.
It's sad, I
You're
know.
hurting us by saying this, and you know that you're putting little knives into all of our ears right now.
It's probably what's happening to them.
Don't!
I didn't even say the things that's happening.
I know, and I'm happy that you didn't, but we all remember the things that were going on in the scene, okay?
She calls him through the dark sea.
Here, there was no escape from her voice. If he roused himself, the pain would wash over the raft and he'd drown in it. So he had no choice but to listen, to drift toward that beacon.
So he seems to be so broken down in this state because she looks in horror asking what they've done to him. So his body is shredded and he's so weakened at this point, he can't fight off her basically entering his mind. And he's sort of like, shouldn't you know? This is what you do. They're doing what you want them to do. At his voice responding, because this is the first time that he's responded to her since that day when they killed the harpy. So he's like, what do you think they've been doing? When he responds to her, she appears to him now, still trailing fire behind her, but now with her face revealed. He can't help but admit to himself she's the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, or female, I should say, even if she is a devil.
But she's not a she-devil like Roseanne.
No.
His enemy. His lover. The soul he'd thought was...
He stops the thought from entering his mind. Uh-oh, what did he think she was?
Man.
She reaches for him, but he shifts out of her grasp. Pain screams so deeply that he wonders if he's close to death, that he can feel it even through all of these barriers. And she's walked through them. Maybe he's already dead. The thought leads him to wonder what they did to Cormac to kill him and whether he exists somewhere. Because if you recall, he doesn't know exactly what happened to Cormac, and they have convinced him that they caught Cormac and tortured him. So he doesn't know that, he self-immolated in that room yet. Splosies. He feels sad about their last encounter and saw a future where he and Cormac could have been friends. They had that last little meeting at the bar, and they sort of came to an understanding of one another, and he thought maybe that he could befriend his cousin.
I also feel like Cormac could have moved into the frat house. I feel like he could have been a good addition.
He could have been a good male, and he was sort of on the road to that. In his mind, he's thinking all of these things. He's created this raft in the middle of the ocean that he's laying on. He can't even sit up. And when Lydia tries to apologize again and explain, he turns away from her. Tells her to save her bullshit. He hates her. He can't stand the thought of her coming closer and touching him, even in this liminal space. He hears her trying to approach him again.
So Rune said, "Fuck your excuses," and rolled off that mental raft to let the sea of pain drown him.
So he literally left Lydia's voice to return to his tortured body, which is not good.
That's when you really want to break up with someone.
I guess.
If you're like, I don't even want to talk to you, even though I'm in the middle of getting tortured. And even though it's the only reprieve I can have, I still don't even want to look at you, bitch. And that's gotta hurt.
It probably does, but probably not as much as the torture.
Yeah.
So then we move over to chapter 5, where we're with Ethan and the gang talking about torture.
Oh my God. That's the thing. When you go for the torture, and then you're like, put me back.
And the gang, just as they've been ambushed by Sabine and her pack, where we last left them, they were at the meat market. Sigrid was there trying to understand the world. And then, they're trying to find information about their boys. Everyone's upset. And then suddenly the wolves show up and they try to escape. But no, last we left, Sabine was right on their buns. So Ethan feels sick as Sabine laughs in their faces and muses that she'd always suspected that her brother had more than 2 pups. So she knows about Sigrid, that they allowed her to find them all too easily. Sabine is saying, I went out and I found my brother after he was exiled and I killed all of them. So she tracks them down. Yep.
Which
it
is kind of cool, to get rid of all of the competition.
But puppies? No.
You can always have more.
No. Because
those
kill
puppies.
the parrots.
Well, yeah. If you kill the parrots, then you can't make another one that looks just like them.
No.
But man, wasn't that just such a fun threat that we used to get? Did you ever genuinely get one of those? I'll get rid of you and I'll make another one that looks just like you.
No.
Okay, that's good.
Nope.
I got those in jest. We used to have those of I'll do something and then I'll make another one that looks just like you. And I'd be like, I bet you could.
It'd never be another Jackie. It'd be some other person.
Yeah, think about that, Barbara Streisand, every time you clone the dogs, okay? Think about it. The dogs aren't the same.
They're not.
Every spirit is different.
I don't actually find that. But the idea of, I love my dogs so much. The idea of cloning them does not bring comfort to me in any way. It just feels like it'd be a scary take. Every single sci-fi movie that talks about this always turns out poorly.
Yeah, but if you watch The Thing, I feel like just think of what a dog can become. And think of what the possibilities could be for a dog.
Oh, good. That's
what
I was hoping for. Yeah. Yeah. That's the ideal.
I just think about that puppy just in the thing.
It is cute.
I mean, the puppy is cute, but what it turns into, only a mother could love.
I could love it.
You could? Yes. It's with all the tentacles and all the things coming out of it. And you're like, oh, look, oh, it's shifting.
It's cute. Come on. So Sabine is mocking them because she has killed her brother, her brother's family, but she was like, I always felt like there was one of you that I didn't get, because she knows a lot about how it feels to kill things, and she knows it's different. She's like, I didn't get them all. But
man, I know that's a really scary sensor to have, but kind of fun. To be able to be like, I feel the presence and the presence is still alive. And I think it just sucks, again, being a human, because we're never going to have that. We're never going to, I'm never going to be able to, tether my brain to your brain. And we're never going to meet on a mental bridge. And I'm never going to be like, Natalie, save me from this torture. I hate that we can't do that.
It's really rough. Yeah.
And
I'm sad about that.
It's just, humans aren't built for torture,
Yeah, I mean, because we don't grow stuff back. It's the problem.
But I guess, but does that make them the worst at torture? The ones that can heal, not to bring up throwing a glass again, but to anybody that can heal themselves, I guess that is the worst.
I guess, but then you can live.
But then you can just, we don't need to talk about the pros and cons of healing yourself as you get tortured over and over.
Are you sure?
And over
we can just
again.
turn this into this whole episode.
All of it makes my belly hurt. This whole book makes my belly hurt, Natalie.
So she's mocking them. She's obviously aware of Sigrid. And in that moment, Ethan eyes her carefully. Her recklessness at confronting them at this meat market worries him. So he thinks that maybe Sabine is so paranoid and so intent on, having this leadership role that she's kind of losing her marbles. Not that we know anything about that in America. But so he's like, oh, I think she might be losing it. The fact that she would confront them in the meat market on
somebody else's
turf is not a good sign. She mocks Ethan and tells him that nobody would care if he was killed, so maybe back off of her. Ouch. He's surprised to hear an alpha growl come from Sigrid behind him. He looks at her and sees a face full of rage and sorrow as she processes that her siblings have been killed. So Sigrid didn't know all of this had happened. She basically spits out at Sabine that she went into the tank to protect her sister and to give them comforts. So I guess Sabine found them all after she'd already gone in the tank. She was holding out hope that her family was somewhere. News that Sabine has killed all of them seems to enrage and like engage that primal part of her,
Yeah,
the
I
alpha
bet.
part.
Yeah.
She tells Sabine she's going to piss on her rotting corpse.
Whoa.
And then Sabine strikes.
Because Sabine doesn't like to be wet. She likes to be dry.
Yeah, she don't want no pee on her. But so she goes, gah! Gah! If you had 3D, that's where you'd be like, whoa!
Yeah. Whoa.
Midair, however.
Whoa. Jackie's coming in
She's
real
coming.
life.
But midair, her face gets blown off. Her whole face.
Ah!
She's been shot by one of the FAE boys.
So and that would have been like
James. James. So she's shot in the face. So she's jumping out. She gets shot. Then another shot goes to the knee as well, just in case she wanted to give them chase without a face.
Oh man, nothing scarier than a chase without a face.
Chase without a face.
Oh.
Chase without a face. So, though this won't be a fatal wound, it gives them time to skedaddle out of there. Flynn grabs Sigrid and begins to flee, but Ethan's body is betraying him in this moment. Half of him wanting to stay and tend to the alpha. So even through all of this, the wolfy part of him is like, you need to tend to Sabine. You need to fix her. You need to help her. You need to save her. The other half is like, I'm going to chew off her outer throat.
I'm glad, because usually when you say your body's betraying you, I thought you meant he just had a big old hard on.
He might.
He's just like, oh God, my red rocket. Oh God, Sabine's gonna see it.
Do you think that even when they're in human form, they have red rockets?
I think they all have red rockets, and I think I just decided that for all of us. It's very difficult. If you think about just, I don't know if wolves get red rockets, and please chime in and let us know if they do, but think of how big and throbbing it would be.
Kind of want to check, but I kind of don't.
I kind of also don't want to know, because that, I feel like if it popped out, it would be like it would have like a little like tongue on the end of it. If you're going to be like a shifter, you are looking it up, aren't you? You need to know if they have a red rocket. You need to know if it unfurls from inside of them like a Tharian. But how are we banging these wolves, Natalie, if the red rocket doesn't come out? When you do the hump,
I'm scared.
then the rocket come hump, it out. Gonna touch your leg, don't like it. Gonna touch your thigh, I don't like it.
Well, I found the first thing that comes up when I asked if wolves have red rockets was a Reddit that says, do you think werewolves have red rockets or more traditional man wieners? So listen, we're not the only people wondering.
Somebody's got to be asking the questions.
I didn't even ask about werewolves, but it's the only thing that's coming up.
I mean, because these are the people like us, the monster fuckers out there. We're the ones asking these questions. Because if we're going to be talking about the nodding situation, I feel like it wouldn't make sense that the protruding knob would come from like a red rocket.
Ugh. I'm mad. And I actually didn't learn whether or not, and I'm afraid to look further. So it was only talking about werewolves, and I feel like that's my sign to not pursue it any further.
And that's my sign to pursue it.
Okay. Well, you go. Flynn grabs Sigrid. So they're trying to get out of there. They're trying to run. Ethan's frozen. He doesn't know what to do. Then as they're, he's standing there, everyone else is starting to flee, doesn't know what to do. And everyone's like, go, go. Then something stops him, and Mark as well. Mark feels something. And he says, stop. He tells you, stop moving. All of the wolves that had accompanied Sabine to the meat market earlier in that previous chapter had been howling. And then suddenly they all stopped. Glad someone finally noticed,
drawled a female voice from the end of the alley. The Viper Queen lounged against a filthy wall, cigarette smoldering between her fingers, her white jumpsuit glowing like the moon in the flickering first light from the lampposts. Her eyes dropped to Sabine's body. Her purple painted lips curved upward as her gaze lifted to Ethan's.
So Viper
God,
Queen.
the Viper Queen's so smoking. And I know that she's smoking cigarettes, and that's not an attractive look to some people. But to me, in this situation,
Cinematically, it's always.
I mean, her leaning up. Except I would say what puts me off, the white jumpsuit.
I mean, how are you not getting your lipstick all over it?
How you not getting your lipstick all over it? How you not leaning up against a filthy wall, immediately coming away, just covered in filth?
Probably another thing that they have there where you can put wards on your clothes so they don't get dirty.
But maybe they put the wards on the white jumpsuit to also be like, it makes anyone look good, even if it's an all white jumpsuit. Because I'm going to say, outside of like the ladies at the end of the First Wives Club, I feel it's really difficult to pull off a full white jumpsuit.
Oh, yeah. And I feel as though hers is probably like silky.
Yeah, which is hot, but also hot. And so she's also sweating in it too.
Breathes.
Does it?
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying this is, I guess I'm a cotton girl through and through. I'm scared of a silk.
Oh, no.
If it doesn't give, it doesn't go on this body.
It's cooling.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I guess I have to think about my silk pillowcase.
Yeah, just like your pillowcase.
My pillowcase.
So, as probably expected, all of this is going on. The Viper Queen's going to find out. And
I mean, you're in the meat market, bitches.
yeah, so she's not like she's going to be pleased with Sabine, but also now that she's caught them having, shot Sabine in the face.
Definitely, took a fucking big old bullet to the head.
But we have to table that because we're cut over to the Hind, who has once again put on her mask of hatred as she walks through the halls of the palace with Rigelus. She has made a request to him that he is considering.
Maybe you start dressing like an old guy. How about you don't be a teenager? Maybe is that what they're
She's giving him
considering?
fashion
Yeah, she's
tips.
giving him like advice of like, it is creepy to do the whole teenager thing, but it's also creepy to be a full-grown adult man.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a way that it's going to be not creepy because
Yeah.
they are parasitic creatures.
Yeah.
So I say be a little cunty teen boy.
Yes. I guess it is the scariest choice.
Yeah.
I am scared of all teenagers. Honestly, a teenage
Terrified.
girl probably would have upped it for me. Then I'm much more scared.
But like the gay kid in the popular group is very mean and
Yes.
scary.
Yes.
So that's not what she's doing. She's actually asking for something else. He doesn't seem convinced that she needs this request fulfilled that she's asking of him. She tells him that she needs to utilize someone named Queen Eurythus.
I believe it's Aerethus, but I can't remember from the audiobook, but it might be Aerethus or Aerethus.
We're going to guess Eurythus is how you say this name. And so she's bringing up this queen that we haven't met yet. And she's saying that this queen will help persuade Hunt, which doesn't sound good. They reach a doorway as they talk and begin to descend a spiral staircase. Rigelus suggests that this queen might be defiant and not do what or the Hind needs, I should say. Lydia fantasizes about snapping his neck, but keeps a calm exterior. They reach the bottom of the stairway and she notes that this place is lower even than the dungeons and is considered a myth to many people. This place in the palace, she's only ever been here once when she was a very young lady with her father and never again. So we're starting
daddy
to get,
problems?
obviously. Actually, it's more that daddy has daughter problems and we need to
Yeah.
change that narrative. Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes. Take the daughter back.
The dad is the one that has the issue, not the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, God. Sorry. I'm just thinking of the new Invincible that just dropped, which Invincible is a really good show. It's a very, very upsetting, like, superhero show, but it's a really, really good one. And part of it was, like, Omni-Man coming back and being like, I'm not going to be in my other kid's life because I want to save him from me. But then the other sibling's like, so you're just going to fucking pretend like he doesn't exist? But the whole thing was that he's like, I want to save him from me. But it's like, but all that looks like from a kid is that you don't want them and that you don't love them.
Still?
But it is that
I think it's better off if you don't.
if you don't, I think, because it was funny because we did get into like a genuine, I know we're just watching like a cartoon, but we got into a genuine conversation about that because I find that fascinating because it is more of a sign from someone that is a bad person to take that recognition and be like, no, I'm keeping me from you, and it is for the best.
I actually think it's a much better, it's a more mature decision to make, that if you feel like you're going to ruin your kid's life, that you should just not be there. They'd be better off.
He did kill like millions of people, but but at least he's trying to do good for his kid.
I genuinely think that's a better choice.
Yes.
So, yes, we're getting these little drips and drabs of Lydia's backstory, her origin story throughout this book. And we're learning that she came here with her father, which means, you know, this seems to allude to her father being in good graces with the Asteri to get such an exclusive tour, because some people don't even know that this room exists, and her father got to see it alongside her.
Oh my God, she's like the Elizabeth Moss of Crescent City.
Are we talking about Scientology?
Yes. And because, you know, her daddy and then that daddy, and then like then the daddies bring you into it. And then you're like, well, I was, you know, you weren't born this way, but you were born that way.
Well, according to them, they were born
by a spaghetti monster?
No. Xenu's actually not like there's a whole, whatever. It fucking doesn't matter. It's all nonsense. It's garbage. It's all stupid. All of it. But they're supposed to be like Thetans. The things exist and they embody different people, but their souls have existed for like a millennium.
MJ and I were making a bunch of jokes because Kathy Lee Gifford is writing multiple books within the world of biblical nonfiction. And I keep making a joke about the phrase biblical nonfiction, that I think it's so, that is so fun, that I'm like, because it's like the...
Kathy Lee Gifford?
Kathy Lee Gifford.
Okay.
Is currently writing these books. And I just think that the idea of biblical nonfiction is very funny.
But what? She's doing adventure side quest stories?
Yeah, it's like, but what if, like, what were they doing outside of that burning bush? But, like, let's get into, like, their other fun stories.
I mean, listen, I love The Red Tent. That's a great book.
I know. But I just referring to it as biblical nonfiction that I do find kind of funny.
Wow. People are not doing well. So yes, she has been in this room only once in her experience with the Asteri. As Rigelus opens the door to this secret chamber, she smells the strong scent of mildew. They have in fact arrived at the Mystics' Hall.
They shouldn't keep them in there. Mildew's not good for mystics either, I don't think.
I don't think they care.
Oh.
But it feels like what it must smell like in an aquarium, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
1,000 tanks stretch out before her. But even closer to them as they enter the room, at the entrance is the only apparently mobile person in the room, a creepy old witch at a large entrance desk, cloaked and known only as the Mistress of the Mystics.
Cool.
I guess that sounds like a sucky job.
Yeah, but
in his basement all day.
At least you get a cool name for it, though. You know, like I feel like you hear about the Mistress of the Mystics.
She's
and
not
like,
just the secretary.
Yeah, but literally it's like caught to the reality, and she's just like plugging numbers into
we need
Excel
to order more salt
to keep them in their tubes.
In the center of this massive space is a hologram, much like the one we saw in the Dusk Room in House of Sky and Breath, and also the one we've seen in the Autumn King study. So those big hologram solar systems are flying around. So they're looking at this one that apparently all 1,000 of these mystics are seeking through. And so all these planets are flying by in the air. Apparently, this Queen Erethus is somewhere around here too. Is she a mystic? Rigelus tells the mistress to go retrieve her for them. This seems to concern the old woman, but Rigelus brushes off her concerns and commands her to lead them to her. So this Mistress of the Mystics is like, what do you mean you want the queen? This apparently is not, this is an unprecedented decision to make. So we follow them through the room. They're walking past this massive room filled with these mystic tanks, with each one holding one person. 1,000 of these people are being held captive in this room. Finally, they hit the center of this darkened, room lit only by the lights around the Mystics' tanks. And they end up in this like stand that has a glowing ball in the center.
Rigelus neared the dimly glowing center of the hall. There, in a crystal bubble the size of a cantaloupe, a female made of pure flame slumbered. Her long hair lay draped around her in golden waves and curls of fire, her lean, graceful limbs nude. The Sprite Queen was perhaps no bigger than Lydia's hand, yet even in repose, she had a presence, like she was the small sun around which this place orbited.
Not another fire sprite trapped.
Lamba! And it's not Lamba, but maybe it's her queen, and it's the Sprite Queen, and I miss her. I miss Lele. I miss her. She's still here with us up on her shelves.
She should probably come down with us whenever we're recording.
Yeah, she should. She does want to sit. I should be bringing her home to watch reality television. Thank you. Bring her closer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. She's here with us in spirit. So it is the queen of the fire sprites, who have been reduced, if you recall, as lessers and slaves despite their intelligence because of their allyship with the rebel angels in the Great War. So even though they are these magical, intelligent beings, they've been reduced to like animals, essentially, as punishment. The mistress swipes her hand at the globe, removing some ward, and demands the queen arise for her, quote, master. Now we don't know exactly what the scheme the Hind/Lydia has cooked up, but we hear her thoughts as Rigelus addresses the queen for the first time, and it sends like rage through her body when he refers to her as, quote, my hind. That sounds like his butt.
Yeah, you talk about your ass, you stupid little boy ass, Rigelus.
But he says my hind would like to, utilize you.
Well, maybe your hind should remove the stick that's up it.
Whoa. Okay. That's how he gets that's with the straw. It's the straw for the light.
Oh, that's right. They have to keep that in there.
Yeah. This is clearly not something that happens ever. We learn through their argument here that the queen is kept down in the mystic's room to ward off threats from hell. I guess her royal flame serves as some kind of magic that does not allow the princes of hell to infiltrate the palace via the mystics, like what happened at the astronomers. So Rigelus seems unconcerned with the mistress's fear that hell will show up, and he tells her if they'd show up in the short span of time that she's with the hind, which is apparently to use her powers on the prisoner, that he'll deal with the princes. Rigelus's lack of concern with the threat of hell has given away his fear, according to Lydia's thoughts. He needs to get info from Hunt so badly that he's willing to risk the hell people coming through the mystics down here.
Think about that, Hind. Think about at least that is the one thing we always know about the Hind is she's always calculating. She's always paying attention, but I feel like in a way, I mean, obviously she has to be even more surreptitious than Bryce ever had to be. Mm-hmm. So she's just so good at seeing
has to be
like navigating a situation and how, God, the 3D chess, she must sleep really well at night though.
Just she's tired.
She's got to be tired, all the thinking.
It's so hard to think sometimes.
I know, I don't do it very often. I only do it for a couple hours a day and I'm
just like, oh God, I gotta lay down. Let me sleep. So yeah, I mean, she has to be doing this all the time, manipulating and even as I think we talked about last episode, she has to control her body temperature and stuff like that. So
smelling her fear and it's like being able to smell her emotions too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
But she is noting this, that Rigelus and all of the Asteria, of course, are acting like doesn't matter, no big deal, that Bryce went somewhere and we're fine, but they actually are more concerned than they're trying to portray.
Yeah, methinks that you're crying too much to be seeing that it don't matter.
What?
It's just, I feel like they're crying too much to pretend. Like, I feel like Rigelus is just out there being like, I'm not upset, but I'm upset. Like, obviously, like she said, shows his fear.
Oh, sure.
That you're skittering around trying to figure this shit out.
And also, he keeps saying, I'm not upset, which is kind of a big giveaway.
I'm not okay.
Aw. He
And
would
he's not.
He might listen, I'm sure.
But then I'd be like, you don't deserve
No,
them.
absolutely not. So the queen watches all of this go down. So the mistress and Rigelus are sort of arguing back and forth. And the queen she's obviously got contempt in her eyes. She's been trapped in this basement for a millennia. Lydia wonders if she has actually gone insane over this time, because the queen is definitely observing all of this, but she's just remaining silent, like kind of just looking with hatred. Though she has a slave band around her neck that is like the halo that the angels get to dull her powers. Rigelus gives her leave to be with the Hind for a week, suggesting that her power is plenty still, even with this band on. So she does not get that removed. Then we're back with Bryce. So whatever the Hind is cooking up with this queen, we're going to have to learn later. Bryce, now we're on another planet in this cell. It's kind of her home planet, actually. More hours and days have passed, and she really hasn't come up with any good ideas of how to get out of this room she's been left in, this cell. She slides her Archesian amulet back and forth across her neck as she contemplates what to do. Little hint that she still has it. I don't know if that's going to come up or not. She just can't stay here. Even though she knows that there's really nothing at her fingertips, she has to come up with a plan. Thoughts of Hunt and Rune wash over her, and she can barely hold off her panic when she considers that maybe time moves differently here, and they have been in danger for far longer than she thinks. Like, what if in this world, one day is a week there?
The intrusive thoughts that must come from being in a torture cell somewhere have got to be crazy.
At least she's not getting tortured here.
Yes, but it's like she's still in a place being kept somewhere that I feel like, oh God, the brain.
Nothing to distract you.
And then you're just thinking about it. It's like, then you're just coming up with things to be upset about.
You can't scroll. You can't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
You can't play Tetris on your phone.
Or Snake. Not even
Snake. She has to play Snake with the snakes that are in the snake cage.
And they don't want to gobble up all the pellets that she keeps putting on the floor.
No. So she's starting to have these like panic thoughts. She can't stand it any longer. Decides to do the only thing that she can come up with in this room. Pull the grate off the large hole in the center of the floor and go down. You know, where all the hissing is coming from.
Come on down here. Oh, don't worry. We're just the Silva Sisters. Don't worry about us. Georgie, Florian.
You could be Stacy. I'll be Darcy.
Is that, okay. I don't know if that is better or worse.
It doesn't really.
Doesn't matter.
They're identical twins, Nat, but and that's all that matters is what we look like. Obviously, it has nothing to do with but they're very.
Oh, hey, it's very Greta Gremlin.
Oh yeah,
They're very Greta Gremlin.
Yeah, they are.
Coded.
Yeah,
and I remember that they have I think it's called the House of Silva. They had a whole line of fashion, and I got one of their sunglasses. I really fell into the Silva Sisters for a minute.
Oh, hey, Bryce, do you want to try on our Sobek skin? Yeah. Yes, that's right, I killed the other ones. Yeah, come on down here, Bryce, don't worry. Sobek skin jacket? Yeah, we're not going to bite you, Bryce.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
TLC, hire us. You don't even have to do a background check.
TLC are literally the most evil company on earth. They currently have a show on where there is a 12-year-old father on their show. I wanted to throw up and die.
I've been saying this recently. Even I have really tried to step away from TL because it's just like they don't do any background checks at all.
They actually have actively avoid them.
It's truly evil.
Don't forget that they are the ones who brought us the Duggar
The
family.
Duggars, yeah. There's a lot of, I'm laughing just because it is so cartoonishly evil.
It is. It's diabolical.
They're like, but it makes great TV. It's
And it
James
also
with the
means-
cigar. Yeah.
Oh, James did it.
It's James did it.
Wow.
Thank you, James.
They also don't have to pay anybody, so they make a lot of money.
Yeah, especially when they're criminals. Yeah, they can't even come after us, right, James?
Oh boy, he loves it. So she sticks her head in this. She's opened this grate. She's pulled the grate off of the center, which was like an open air grate. Like she was tossing like peas in it earlier, and all she can see is complete darkness when she peers down into this opening that she's made. So she pulls some of her light from her and makes a little ball and lets it drop down, which is like, that's a cool thing to be able to do.
I bet the Sobeks probably liked that. I bet they were like,
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It's a light display.
I guess, but I don't know if they like the light.
oh,
They-
so they
it
hate
hurts
it.
my eyes.
Oh, okay, so we're like,
No, don't. Please,
What
can
are
I
you
get an eye
doing?
mask? Oh, don't
I
do
have
this to me.
sensitive eyes.
Oh, God, I'm trying to sleep.
Yes. So, yeah, she drops it down. And as the light goes down, she goes, yeah, that's a bunch of slimy scaries down there. Uh-oh.
us?
Oh, hello. You're the one throwing light into
You're
our
doing this to
hole.
us. We've just been down here.
So she weighs her options.
But she
sees,
loves our wigs.
she
I
lo-
feel
she's
like she immediately sees,
slay.
oh my God, okay, Silva Sobek Sisters down there, even with the slime. Yes, the slime adds to the curl.
Thank you, but I'm still going to probably bite you. Yeah.
So she sees these things. There's this really scary creature that reminds her of her planet Sobex. And they're just hissing around down there. We don't even know what they are exactly because they're not Sobex. They're some other like related creature. But it's something like that. They have curly hair.
They were permed against their will, and they are upset about it.
You know how we clip Doberman's ears here, which we shouldn't be doing?
Shouldn't be doing.
That's what they perm they have them grow hair and perm their hair.
They're trying to keep us down.
Mm-hmm. So,
We've got high body count hair is what we've got.
whoa. Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's what this is. Bigger the hair, closer to God, closer to confess all your sins.
Why is that body count?
Yeah, because I feel like that's what they were thinking when they gave us the perms, that they were thinking
sluts?
that we were sluts, that we were going to like it. But they
Oh.
didn't even take the time to get to know us before they found out, yes, we are in fact sluts, but we didn't want the perm.
Body counts are stupid.
Yes.
Ugh.
But Natalie, how else are you supposed to know how good you are at it?
I hate
I watched into the what's in the manosphere. How are you supposed to know if you're good at it, Natalie?
well, they
If you
don't,
don't rack those numbers up.
but they want the women's to be low because they have no way to control women, and so they have to make them feel as small as possible because they're losers. There's the secret. So
That's the secret. Is that what you find out when you read the book, The Secret?
yes, I wish that was the end of the secret.
We're all losers. It's the only thing written in the book.
No, that toxic patriarchal masculinity, it destroys everyone's lives, including men's.
Throw it down, Sobek sister.
So no one listens to me. I'm down in a pit.
Nope. I mean, you know what they do? They put us all down in a pit,
They
don't
really
they,
do.
Natalie?
Yeah. So yes, she sees all of these feminist Sobeks who are sluts,
But proud of it.
but proud of it. And she's like, oh, hi, that's cool. You seem like you would be like, we should go to the White Raven together sometime.
slay.
She weighs her options one last time. Stay here and work with the FAE beings or see what was down in this pit. If there's any way to escape this room through this way. Basically go into the fire. So she remembers how powerful Rizond was in those moments and how she might be at risk of what if she does ally with these people and brings them back to her planet and all they do is destroy the Asteri and take their place. She doesn't trust the Fae. She pulls a real fuck it.
It would be a true leap of faith.
That's another way to put it. She had realized she gained a surge of power from that light explosion and ingesting their magic to get the little bean inside of her, which seems to be, their magic is so much more powerful and potent on this planet that it seems to have just given her this like power up inside of her body. She thinks she has enough left over to teleport, or winnow, as they call it here, to the narrow rock she sees jutting out just above the slimy, stinky Sobeks.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, but we don't get to go to the showers very often. From there, maybe she can see somewhere to go. Is there like a tunnel? Is there like a sewer or something that she can go to from this pit? So she's like, okay, I can sit here for another how many days, or I can just take a leap.
Go for it, bitch.
So if she gets down there, you know, she doesn't know if she can teleport back out. So she can get to this rock. It might just be a dead end down there. She may have to stand on that rock until the Fae return, or the Sobeks just eat her. This is a serious decision moment. It was a moment she was taking that could end all hope for Midgard. It scares her and she hesitates.
Hunt would tell her she was out of her mind. Rune would tell her to try to spin some more bullshit, try to win her captors over. But Danica would have jumped. Danica had jumped down into the depths of the drop with Bryce, knowing there'd be no return for her. Danica, whose death Rigelus had engineered, manipulating Micah into killing her.
The thought of Danica and everything that she had done was enough for her to say, screw it.
I just feel like this is another one of those things where she's like, I learned it from you, but she's learning the wrong things.
Or is she?
At some points, because I feel like also all this shrouded in secrecy, all this, having your own prerogative and not telling anyone. I feel like a lot of that comes from Danica's encouragement from beyond the grave. And so at least in this instance, I'm glad that it is a positive thing to follow. But sometimes I feel like Danica wasn't given great, like, in the world of being a spy. But Bryce, you're not a spy. Like, at times you have to, don the character of a spy.
But Danica knew what was at stake. And she, even though she did hide so much from Bryce, it might have been because it was at the expense of the entire planet. So maybe she was doing it because she knew that that was the only way.
Whoa.
But no, I think you're also right.
And then she got a splody.
But I will say it's important to take calculated risks in life. You need to do that. Otherwise,
right.
You stay stagnant.
You're right, Natalie. All right. How else are you supposed to become a butterfly if you don't wind up in a sticky papoose somewhere?
Yeah. Just get yourself all sticky and wrapped up.
Mm-hmm. Just cover yourself in a bunch of Jell-O, get inside of your duvet, and then bam, life is anew.
It will give you some new perspectives, I will say.
Why did I do this to my Jell-O and my duvet?
And you'll be sticky and it will be upsetting, but you don't know what ideas might come out of that.
Transformative shower.
So she says, screw it, I'm doing it. And she blips out and into the unknown. We cut back over to Tharian, however. We don't know what's going to happen.
All these chapters, man. SJM really, and you're like, oh, okay.
This chapter is thick. So we cut back over to Tharian, who is faded almost to oblivion, but still manages to feel a little bit of surprise when Flynn, Declan, Ethan, Mark, and some wolf chick he's never met walk into the suite he's laid up in under the meat market. So we're returning to Tharian after it seems like maybe he and Viper Queen did it. I'm not sure. Hopefully it was consensual.
I hope it's consensual, but also if it was, I'd watch that tape.
Well, yeah, as long as it was consensual, I'd absolutely watch it. Are you kidding me? So
I imagine it's like in that world of like, I think it is not consensual, but I imagine at the point it's like with the addiction and the sucking and I imagine you get wrapped up in the power and the needing of like the venom.
Yeesh.
Not that I think that doesn't mean it's consensual, and especially it's certainly a power dynamic that we don't necessarily love.
No, but it is a form of kink, I'm sure, somewhere.
Sucking venom, man.
Non-consensual consent, which is not a thing. I'm not gonna trump on any of that because I don't want to get us a landmine. Anyway, we're with Tharian, who is, he's filled with venom. He is literally like in an opium den, essentially underneath the meat market, just kind of chilling, waiting for the fights the next day. And as he's laying out there, he's like, oh, whoa. Hey, friends, what's going on? He gets a tad self-conscious. He's like, even though he's in this haze, Declan looks at him with horror. He realizes he must look pretty messed up, both being battered, but also heavily chopped in the brain.
And it's like, I know that Tharian is very smart, but I also feel like there is that like, whoa, I shouldn't have fucked the River Queen's daughter. Like, I do feel like there is that. So I do kind of, maybe it's a little bit more of where he'd like to live in his brain.
Right. I mean, you could see how he could just go down this pathway. So in this moment, they're all witnessing him for the first time after they saw that he became a fighter from a flyer. And then immediately after, Ariadne seems to be drawn to the commotion of the room and enters. And she gets into this brief bicker with the FAE boys because this is the first time they're seeing her since she fled Hypaxia when she was supposed to be on guard. And so there's like a little confrontation, but she's also just like, shut up.
I feel like this was around the point in the book where I started to, and I know that eventually this changes, but I kept getting Ariadne and Siegfried confused in my brain. Siegfried. Well, my mama has got something to say about that. With Sigrid. Sigrid, is it Sigrid?
Oh, I call her Sigrid.
Sigrid. So, but I feel like the characters of Ariadne and Sigrid are very, like, they start getting a little like,
there's a lot of new characters coming in.
There's a lot of new characters coming in, and I feel like they both kind of give that whole like, I don't need your help, but I also do kind of need your help, but also I'm in charge, but also I do need your help. And I feel like they are, and I did start to get a little confused by them.
Very understandable. The only reason I don't get those two confused is because visually in my head, they're so different looking.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yes.
But I get confused with other characters all the time. For example, I forget which one is Flynn and which one's Declan every time.
Yeah, I have to look it up every time of which one's more of the prep.
And the one that has a boyfriend. So they get into this little tiff with Ariadne, but they kind of just get over it quickly. Feeling floaty and far away, Tharian asks, well, who's there? They've unfortunately brought bad news. Though they don't think the fellas are dead, Baxi, Hunt, and Rune are captive and Bryce has disappeared. Tharian stares at them as he tries to process this information through his haze. Flynn takes this time to tell him how bad he looks. Pupils, huge.
Yeah.
Body, wrecked. What happened? I was Gore Babul. It's Gore.
Oh, yeah, Tharian?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He notices that through his altered state that Ariadne and Sigrid are eyeing one another, though he doesn't know who Sigrid is yet. The two of them realize they know one another because remember, Sigrid was in the tank, Ariadne was in the ring, the astronomer's ring. So they were with each other for many, many years. He gets even more confused when Ethan introduces this new chick he has never met before as Sigrid Fendir.
What?
Did Danica have a baby you grew up with us?
Whoa, yeah, it's like a Bella situation, Ethan. I know, Ethan, you want to be the Jacob, but you can't be, hun.
It's the Renesmee. Declan tells him, this is a lot. There's a lot. Don't worry. We'll talk about this later on. Right now, they have to deal with the immediate fallout of Sabine having to grow her face back. While it won't kill her, it seems like a pretty egregious move, like maybe a sort of like a social faux pas, like you're not supposed to shoot someone's face off.
All right.
And it's just going to add another layer of problem to their already messed up day. Tharian watches as they all discuss their options and throw out ideas of where to go from here. The Viper Queen has told them that they can stay at her spot for the night, so they all kind of collect in this commons room where they found Tharian and kind of try to find space where they can. Tharian feels shame watching them talk to one another, realizing this was almost his group of friends.
Well, it is your group of friends, Tharian.
Well,
but
he doesn't see a way out of his position anymore.
No.
He's kind of eliminated that option. He just decides to close his eyes. Back to Bryce.
Juke, juke, juke.
And she is, in fact, standing on this little scrap of rock right above the Sobek thing.
Hey, oh, do you want to buy some sunglasses from my house? From my house of Silva? Don't worry, Florian. Florian, come here.
You would think we wouldn't have sunglasses because we live in the dark.
We live in the dark.
$1 is $1.
Capitalism, it reigns supreme.
It's alive and well in here. So they're actually either really unhappy or very happy to see her because they're all gathering around the little island going, hiss, hiss.
With their perms everywhere. And
What she can't tell is they're all trying to pitch her a different MLM and it's glad she doesn't speak their language. So she has teleported to this space and she tests out, now that she's here, she's like made it. She's teetering on this rock, but she's safe from them for the moment. And she tries to pull into her magic again to feel if she can potentially teleport out again. But she has depleted whatever she had in there. It's, quote, sputtered out. Thankfully, her starlight just comes naturally. So at least she can have a little flashlight on her chest. She realizes the Sobek seem to be pulling back from her a little. She wonders if it has something to do with the starlight or how she was apparently, quote, made, as they called her earlier.
Or maybe they just didn't have their sunglasses on.
Yeah, maybe they're just like, can you give me a second?
Please. Because you know, it borderline hurts when you have to get up in the middle of the night and use the bathroom, right?
And her level of starlight even hurts people's eyes who are already in daylight.
Are not doing that. So, but also though, new life hack. Keep the sleeping mask on when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Wait.
That's been my new thing. I feel around
Are
and
you
I
serious?
don't turn the light on. Yeah, because I want to keep my eyes. I don't want it. So I've been keeping my sleeping mask on.
Well, you
when
must
I
have
go.
a clear path to your bathroom.
I do. I mean, at least like when I'm in the dark room, I take it off so that I can get to the bathroom. But before I turn on the light, I put the eye mask back on. And like when I get my situation so that I know and then I don't have to turn on the light.
I mean, I keep mine above, I put them above my eyes.
Yes.
But I usually can at night because it's an obstacle course to get out of my bed with the dogs and the husband. So I've tried to train myself to not have to pee in the night, which is hard.
Whoa. I hear it only gets more difficult as time goes on.
Why are you looking at me? I'm only 5 years older
looking
than
at you, Natalie. I'm looking at you. How's that piss going,
Wow.
Natalie?
Wow. Okay, well, I guess I have my wisdom to bring about the urine.
Tell me about your piss, Natalie. What's piss like in the future?
Listen, if you put a bunch of dogs around you who will be shot wide awake if you move,
That'll
apparently
help.
it'll help.
Okay, all right. Good to know. Good
Keeps
to know.
you young.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
I think it keeps you having piss coming out of your eyeballs, but
yeah, I fortunately I have many problems. One of them was never I don't have a wetting the bed issue.
or crying urine.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, at least we find out more and more from every
That's how
episode.
when I hold it in at night, it goes up.
Goes up. Yeah. It's anti-gravity matter is
Yeah.
what happens to piss.
So she's like, I don't know why this is happening, but they seem to be like backing away from me. So she pulls her shirt down to reveal the skin where her scar is.
Look at my titties. Look at my titties, Sobex.
I'd be like, thank you.
Wow.
Well, that's nice. I mean, if you want to show them, I'm gonna about to look at them. It's where, it's where the scar is, of course, and the Sobeks seem to react in fear. Oh my god! Oh, her tits are so nice; they look mine
Oh,
bad.
God, especially in comparison to our perms, Natalie.
Oh god. Well, That's a start at least. She has the Sobeks kind of pulling away from her. She's assured enough to get her bearings and look at the space around her. Well. The pit seems to be a part of a long tunnel and not a hospital show in Pittsburgh. There are caverns on either side of her, as though this is just a chamber in a long hallway of sorts.
Bryce turned toward one of the tunnels, trying to better see what lay beyond. The star in her chest dimmed, like her magic was rapidly fading. She whirled toward the other tunnel, trying to see what she could before the magic vanished. The star flared brightly again.
Okay, well, thank you, chest
Okay.
She tries it again. Same thing. She's still learning about this scar, this power, but remembers that Rigelus told her that it calls to her most loyal and significant. It reacts to them. So maybe it's also leading her towards a way out. This is Thea's power on Thea's planet, after all.
I mean, that's badass. That is cool to be like from where her power is from and to feel that within you. It's cool.
Yeah, obviously it's cool. But what about these slimy snakeagators?
Come on.
As her stress ramps up, the Sobeks seem to react. She concentrates on her breathing and the beasts also settle with her. She begins to repeat to herself, "Through love, all is possible," steadying her nerves.
I imagine she's also handing out white wine glasses to us as the Silva Sisters. And we're going, oh, thank you. No, we're better now. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all it took. She just had to bring the white. She had to bring the Sauv Blanc out.
And it could be a $5 chuck. It doesn't matter, you know?
Shit.
The Silva Sisters do not judge their wine.
Mm-mm. Is it alcohol? All right. So
through love, all is possible. Through love, all is possible.
Yes. So she gives them whatever she's doing is working on them. They are calming down. They're relaxing. Something is like happening that is reacting from her. They remain placid beneath her. Using her willpower, she takes the first step off her stone oasis.
They lay before her like obedient dogs. She didn't question it, didn't think of anything but the star on her chest and the tunnel it pointed toward, and the desire to see the faces of those she loved once more.
I want to see this animated so bad.
I know, dude. Because you are so right. I know that we'll forever say it. I don't think it can properly be done live action. I really don't think that
not
it could.
Unless they had like a Lord of the Rings budget, which they're not going to get.
They're not going to get it. Or who knows? Let's see as the world of Romantasy continues to bloom and blossom. You know, it's like it was given SJM at first and then Hulu, you know, it's like then it all fell apart. But who knows what could happen in the future.
But she got the rights back, which I think is great. Because what Lord knows what they would have turned it into. So she recalls Rune had called her a queen before she came to this place. She didn't feel that way then. But as these beings lay before her, she imagines a crown on her head, steadying her strides as she enters the unknown. Back to Viper Queen's lair. It's all the same chapter. Finally, after all the boys get settled, Tharian rouses himself from the couch in the common room where they had all gathered. So where they had found him is where he had been laying that entire evening. And finally, as everybody's kind of like laying, going to bed, he gets himself off the couch to head back to his bedroom, which is nearby. Ethan, however, is on him immediately, wanting to know what has happened. He explained his bargain, his story with the River Queen. Ethan then fills him in on Sigrid and everything that they've done in the last 3 days. Tharian feels affection for the wolf when Ethan tells him he can't stay here and that they're going to find a way to release him from the Viper Queen.
Oh, maybe they are still his friends.
But ultimately, Tharian just tells him it's too late and drags his drugged ass to his mattress to fall into a stupor. Cut to Ethan in the same moment. He goes back to the commons room to see Sigrid awake. It's late, and the fighting ring has closed for the night, yet she's pacing in front of that observation window, clearly uneasy about being trapped once again, now underground. He offers her the couch as all of the others have taken spots on the floor, pretending to be asleep. Sigrid confirms that she doesn't believe they'll be let out and she can't breathe. What we might call a bit of panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
He promises her that they will leave here. He feels guilt at her fear, but she also is acting kind of like a bitch.
I'd be pretty bitchy if I had been kept in a ring for like a long time.
For sure. And she's also an alpha. She begins insulting the FAE boys and demanding to know why he didn't take her out of the city as soon as he freed her. And while she's got every right to be angry, she isn't doing anything to help either. She snorts in disgust when he tells her that Tharian is the Myrrh who he told her was going to help them. Ethan, he's just like, you know what? You got to work through some stuff. I'm just going to go. I'm going to take a little nap. I'll see you later. He just takes himself into Tharian's room out of the space where Sigrid is, resigned to the fact that no one is going to be happy that evening, and lays on the floor at the foot of his bed. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh my gosh.
Wowie zowie.
That was a one chapter, just one. And it
was
two
full,
chapters, but
a lot of it was just one.
And it is so crazy. And this is just the beginning, y'all. So just strap in because we got a lot of book to go and it is going to continue to juke from POV to POV. I do like getting more POVs in this book though.
Yeah, I do too.
will throw it out there. I do like getting more perspectives. I like being in like the Hind's brain.
Oh yeah, we need to be in the Hind's brain, I feel like.
We need to know more. We need to be able to know if we can trust her or not. And I think at this point we can, even though we know she's got to do what a bitch has got to do. But thank you guys for joining us while we get through. It's not all a torture book. It's just some of a torture book.
But with us, it's all a torture book.
Oh. Please read up until chapter 8 for next week.